What's going on, hustlers? So today's video, we're going to be basing our business development off of the craziest current events. I know you guys heard about what's going on with Israel and Iran. I feel like I was born too early to go to Iraq, but I was born just in time to go to Iran. That's how this war is looking like it's about to turn out. I hope we don't go into World War III, but I had a thought and it came to me. I was like, man, what would be some of the most profitable items to sell during the time of war? And this is gonna be a real short video, but what would we do in the event that the US got involved in this war? We know that for everybody in our industry, that means that the trap is gonna be jumping. Let me tell you, I had never experienced an uptick in business like I had when Russia had initially invaded Ukraine. And I'm not particularly happy about it. I'm not proud of it, but it happened, and it was just the nature of the beast. Russia invaded Ukraine. We mobilized troops for NATO. We sent them all to Poland because that was the closest neighboring NATO country. So you know that means that the trap was jumping. Business with DLA was fire. So if you're looking for a way to create a concrete business development plan for you and your company, click the link down below to speak with me and my team. We guarantee you're going to win your first contract within the next 45 days or less if you hit all the metrics we outlined for you. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Number one, can openers. Number one is can openers. So we know in the event that we got to go into bunkers, because this whole conflict is derived from different people having nuclear weapons and things like that. So if we got to get to a bunker, we don't have refrigerators, we got non-perishable food items that we need to eat. You guys aren't even gonna believe this. It's so simple. It's been underneath your nose. You probably have one sitting in your cabinet. Can openers. Can openers are gonna be the method. These are easy. You could get them from Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot. And by the way, I got this list. It was a study that showed the most purchased items during times of war. So number one is going to be can openers for those non-perishable food items. Number two, this one also makes perfect amount of sense: disinfectant wipes and hygiene. So anything that has to do with hand sanitizer, anything that has to do with soap, anything that has to do with baby wipes, anything that has to do with Clorox. Think about it. In the event that you run out of functioning water, that's gonna be your next best bet. In the event that you can't go take a shower, you know that you're gonna have to use those disinfectant wipes and make sure that you clean, make sure that you stay in fresh. So that's number two. Anything that has to do with disinfectant and personal hygiene, all of the Clorox wipes, all of the hand sanitizer, all that good stuff. Number three, in the event that we have World War III. See what I did there? Wink, wink. Handheld radios and batteries. And remember, guys, everything that I'm saying here is commercially available and off the shelf. So as this conflict starts to manifest and mature, the people who are going to profit the most from the situation are not going to be those who hear about the war and then they go start bidding on radios and hygiene and batteries and can openers. It's going to be the people who start submitting bids on that stuff right now. Going to go find those bids that have been sitting there for the previous 3 to 18 months. That's where you're going to get your foot in the door and get ahead of your competitors. Thing number four, item number four, product number four is going to be first aid kits. Now, these ones might be a little bit more intense to procure simply because these are kits and you might have to put the kits together. During all of our boot camps, we usually add one additional skill or one aspect of government contracting. Last year's boot camp, we talked about how to sell, or this previous boot camp that was in May of this year, we talked about how to sell surplus items to the government. I believe for our next boot camp, which we have 2 to 3 times a year, we're going to be talking about kitting, how to put together kits for the Defense Logistics Agency, and a great entryway into that is first aid kits. Think about it. You're gonna need all the gauze, you're gonna need any needles for any stitching, you're gonna need any kind of ointment, etc. So in the event that there's a war, you can't go to the pharmacy, you can't go to the urgent care, you can't go to your regular doctor, your pediatrician. If you got kids, you're gonna need to have a first aid kit on hand. Number five is 2 items, and I'm really happy to share one of these items with you because we've already talked about it on the channel. We've seen how valuable these can be, but There's a second aspect to this one that I haven't even thought about that everybody gets in basic training: flashlights and lighters. So we talked about the flashlights. We know that personal flashlights, especially super high-tech ones that the SEALs use or the Rangers use or anybody in any other branch of the Army that uses, could be super, what's the word that I'm looking for? They can be lucrative. Flashlights can be super lucrative. And the next thing is lighters. You gotta have a lighter. In the event that you need to start a fire, you gotta use a flint and steel. People will be smoking a lot more cigarettes during wartime. It's gonna be definitely good to have one of those, and you're probably gonna make some friends if you end up in a Walking Dead bunker situation or something like that. Gotta be having lighters. And I believe that all of the troops that get sent to basic training also carry lighters. So those are my 5 items that I strongly recommend, the 5 product markets that I strongly recommend you start looking into to get ahead of the game with the government in the event that we get involved in a potential World War III. Not just because I want you to get your foot in the door, but because I want you to develop past performance right now before any conflict starts. So that way when it does start and the government's very risk averse and they're changing the priority ratings on those orders from DO to DX, high priority in times of war and in times of conflict, you guys are already established, have a relationship with not just your distributors and your vendors, but more importantly, your procurement officers and your contracting officers. This was a short video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, click the link down below if you are looking for a product market to get into, or you are looking to do business with a defense logistics agency. We guarantee you will win your first contract in 45 days or less if you meet the metrics that we outlined for you guys. Not only am I looking forward to your success, I'm absolutely sure of it. Let's go print those dollars.